So,
hey, this video is for Benjamin Keefer.
Hey Ben.
Thanks for sending us a question, man. It looks like we're smoking it up big time, but we're actually burning incense, and there's no. Please don't take any deeper spiritual significance. It just smells good. It
smells really good.
And your question was sort of about the content of this next record lyrically. We've talked about a few things. One just being joy. I Am Undone was just a very broken record. It was very much I'm broken and God is not, and we didn't see a lot of the connection, but we knew it was there. And Yet is kind of turning that corner. That's why it's called Yet. And Broken Voice was a lot more like resolved and close to joyous. But I think the place we're at now is we want to write songs that just we can worship to, that people want to worship to. The stuff that we like playing the most right now is stuff where people can just worship. So we've talked about that some, and then really just a sense of, not that everything in our life is perfect, but just in a spiritual sense, just really coming to terms with the victory of Christ, the complete victory of it. So we've been using a lot of words like victorious and triumphant to talk about the overall tone of the record. I'm not saying it's going to be all in major keys or anything, but I think in our hearts, like, we just really are excited about who the Lord is and who we are, and just want to write songs people can sing along to.
We haven't written any lyrics yet for this record, so we don't have any content like that for you. Lyrics are usually the last thing, but that's more out of just wanting to be as intentional and thoughtful with them as possible, and it's just really hard to write down lyrics today and feel like we don't have anything to add to them or change in them 6 months from down the road. So so we don't have anything right now.
It definitely will be like every record is really just, I'd say every song represents sort of I think I referred to this in an earlier video, but represent Ebenezer moments in our life. In the Old Testament, the Lord led the Israelites to build monuments to a lot of big moments, and those are called Ebenezers, and almost every song represents an Ebenezer in the life of the band. And so I can guarantee you, like, some major things have happened since Yet, and even some big things since Broken Voice. Jeremiah was very newly married. Jesse and Jeremiah were both very newly married when we did Yet. And obviously Jesse's not really in the band full-time anymore, and Matt and Tanner are. And Jeremiah took some time off. I had a serious relationship, and that relationship ended. We both left the community life we were living in, that specific community, which we'll probably talk about in another video soon. But we're still living in community. And that was all on good terms, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of major things have happened, and usually for us, records, it's just like anyone's life. The Lord uses the big things He puts you through and the everyday grind to teach you things. And for us, that's what records always end up being about, is what did the Lord teach us? And they're always centered around big moments. So I'm sure all those things will be reflected in the record, and I've got a lot. I spent 6 months kind of alone in New England. It was an awesome time, and so I know that'll be reflected. And I've talked a lot about silence and stillness, and Jeremiah's talked a lot about joy and worship. So,
yeah, and also, we mentioned in some earlier videos, Aaron and I are living back near each other again after just under a year hiatus of living that way, and it was definitely a God thing that brought us back together. It was not the plan all the way along. But it was definitely clear that was what was supposed to happen. So we followed that, and I think there's going to be a lot of really interesting things coming out of that. Aaron and I are up almost every night talking about the church and our spiritual lives and what's going on and what's God teaching us and where is He taking us. So really excited. I think that we're always extremely intentional, and we're just going to be that much more intentional this time. And we've grown a lot. We've matured a lot. Since Yet, when we put this record out, Yet will be 3 years old.
Yeah, it'll be right around 3 years.
So, 3 years adult spiritual maturity, I guess, added on to yet. So we're really excited and wish we could give you more concrete stuff, but it just doesn't work that way for us.
We just need you to pray for us is what we need, because every time we write a record, especially the lyrics, is so difficult, and I'll spend so much time alone, we'll spend so much time talking, and it still just won't come and won't come and won't come until the end. So you can pray that we do a good job of planting good seed in our brains right now. But then also, every time we've made a record before, that was kind of our full-time job, and now it's not. But we're not going to give it any less attention. And both the last 2 records, I've gotten like seriously physically sick afterwards, just because of lack of sleep and just needing to get it done. I got shingles with Yet, and my appendix burst with broken voice, and just because it takes so much time and effort to make one of these things finished. So we're so dependent on the Lord in this process, so we could just use so much more prayer. Just that it'll all come together in season, and we'll get it done, and it'll be pleasing to the Lord. I mean, we just pray over and over again that the Lord will just say what He wants to say and bring Himself glory.
I'm actually really happy that Aaron mentioned that to pray for us in this record. This whole who is my epic thing that is going on is it's partially to kind of let you guys see who we are as people more, and it's also to blur the lines of who all is involved in my epic, and we want you guys to be invested in this as well, and to feel like you're a part of the new record, and we would love for you guys to be praying for us and with us and feel like you're putting it out as well. So I think it'd just be a blast to do that with you guys. So
yeah, pray for us, Ben. We hope the Lord will speak.
Thank you.
Grace and peace.